It's the fire season in the Western Cape, and some parts of Cape Town have already been dealt a blow by two devastating fires. Hundreds of families in the Strand and Khayelitsha areas have been displaced and have lost their belongings because of the fires. Our reporter Nasiphi Same is today visiting some of the victims of these blazes. She joins me now to give us an update on the progress in rebuilding these communities. Nasiphi, a very good morning to you. We're seeing thousands of families displaced and not really sure of what to do, especially as the Christmas is underway next week. Many of them trying to repiece and rebuild their lives. Talk us through the impact of this devastation.
Well, Mpho, I think you put it very perfectly. It's days or rather a week before Christmas, and many families in various communities in Cape Town are literally picking up the pieces, salvaging the material that is left or what was left from the fires, and putting up structures just to have a roof over their head. Yesterday, we were in Masiphumelele, where over 1,500 families are left displaced there, but we do know that there is an organization that will be coming to their aid. However, here in Khayelitsha, just over 20 structures were burnt down on the 18th in the wee hours of the morning, and we understand that at this moment the city has not determined what is the cause of the fire. People here are also picking up the few pieces that have been left behind and trying to glue back together their lives, and many have lost everything from what they had in their homes. And just a few minutes ago, many of the community members are with an official from the city of Cape Town who's registering them, as we do know that when fires occur and people lose their homes, the city of Cape Town usually steps in and provides starter kits. They call them fire starter kits. And at this moment, we understand that the city of Cape Town is saying that they are in talks with the national government to see what can be done for people of Cape Town who have, fallen victim of the fire due to the fact that they aren't able at this moment to provide those starter kits due to the financial constraints and budget cuts. So at the moment, the mayor has instituted a local disaster, and he said yesterday that that will be gazetted, and based on that and the emergency funds that will be released, the city of Cape Town will then be able to assist residents, or rather communities, that have been affected by the fires.
These communities that have been affected by the fires, we know that the officials in the city have spoken about some of the challenges that they've had to deal with over the years when it comes to relocating and having them, refer to a term called shack farming. Talk to us a little bit about shack farming and exactly what's at stake as it continues.
Well, the issue at hand at Masiphumelele, who we know is a community-prone, or rather fire-prone community, and the area of wetland in particular. I mean, just last year, July, they'd experienced a massive fire, and almost over a year later, we were back in Masiphumelele, 1,000 or rather 1,500 shacks burned down, leaving many displaced. However, when we posed the question to the MACO member of Human Settlement in the city, Malusi Boy, he did say that there is a project in Masiphumelele to relocate people, and they have already handed over 500 homes. However, the challenge that they face as the city of Cape Town, not only in Masiphumelele but in other communities, is the issue of people being handed over houses, or beneficiaries receiving houses, however coming back to the communities to set up their structures again and renting out the houses that they've received from the city of Cape Town. And he coined this term as shack farming, which is one of the many challenges that he's saying that is becoming an obstacle in eradicating informal settlements in the city of Cape Town.
And very lastly, before we let you go, Nasiphi, bring us, so we can hear lots of banging in the background and lots of noise there. Just bring us into your space so we can get a sense of the true impact of this devastation.
Cool. We just show you a few people that are actually trying to pick up their pieces, and as you mentioned, nail, hammer, and also in zinc. As you can see that the material is not new. People are basically salvaging what was left from the fire and trying to basically put up structures so that they can have roof over their head. However, the City of Cape Town's Fire and Rescue Services has also cautioned residents in Cape Town, saying that we have entered the fire season. And basically what the fire season is that Cape Town will be experiencing or seeing lots of fires. Just in the last 48 hours, the City of Cape Town has experienced about 6 fires, Nasiphi Khayelitsha, Strand, and also in Camps Bay, where there was a vegetation fire. And the city is also cautioning people to ensure that they put up fires. They also putting up fires where they are, basically saying that people who are going to be putting up fires, they need to be putting them in designated areas, and make sure that when they are cooking, they are monitoring that, because this will be a very dry and very hot season, which basically means that should there be a fire, it will be exacerbated due to the weather conditions that Cape Town will be experiencing for the next couple of months.
Very well. Let's leave it there for now. Of course, this is a developing story that we will continue to give you updates on, but we stay with that story as the Social Justice Coalition says there isn't any political will to fix the living conditions of the residents from Nasiphi after a fire displaced hundreds of people in the informal settlement. Despite a Standard Bank offering 1 million rand via Gift of the Givers, activist Axolile Nokwala says it should be government funding that repairs the houses lost in this fire.
This is an issue of political will, because now recently, just before this fire, we had the city making excuses that they're not going to be providing emergency kits for fires because they don't have money. The city has had money for years. And it's them not being able to implement the policies that exist, the housing policies that exist. There is, for example, an informal settlement section, which had a similar fire, if not bigger, in 2013. This was in 2013, 7 years ago. And before that, BM has existed in Cape Town for over 30 years. This is an 30-year-old informal settlement that had a fire in 2013. And the people that had fire in BM are still in the same place, even though there were promises 7 years ago that they would be relocated, that their informal settlement would be upgraded. BM has been allocated a budget for over these 7 years, and nothing has happened. So no one else is to blame but the City of Cape Town, but the governing cities within Cape Town.